So I'm making a quick video to show you how to set up ClearPass Guest with a Cisco wireless LAN controller. So let me show you some things here. So I logged into my wireless LAN controller, Cisco wireless LAN controller here. And some things that you have to set up in here. It's not really that much that you have to set up in the wireless LAN controller, but if you look on WLANs, I created this demo guest, and you'll see this ID, this number 4. You'll see that's important because we have to tell the ClearPass the name of the wireless LAN or the wireless LAN ID. So let's go in, we'll take a look at a couple of the settings, but first let me look at my security and my authentication. And this is my ClearPass server. So if you wanted to add in a new ClearPass server, you could add it right in here. You just put in the IP address and you put in the shared secret. That's all you have to do. You can also set up for authentication, or excuse me, for accounting. But there I set up that's my ClearPass server. So that's the first thing that I have to do. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my wireless LANs, and you can create a new wireless LAN. So you can go up here and create a new one. But I'll just let you look at the settings that I have here. So here's my wireless LAN. I did set up an interface. So let me show you here. I also want to show you some security. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to set up some access control lists. So I set up a pre-auth access control list. So we can take a look at the settings here. I have 2 ClearPass servers, so one is .12 and one's .13. But what I'm allowing in here is I was allowing anything to the .12 server. You can lock it down, and you can just say just port 80 and port 443. And I'm saying anything from that server back. Also allowing ICMP from anywhere in here. And also this is my second ClearPass server in here. So you'll want to set that up as a pre-auth role. And allow the wireless to be able to talk to the ClearPass server, so we can get to the guest portal. Okay, and then you can also set up your guest access control list. This is the access that your clients will get once they are authenticated onto the network. And let me go back to my wireless LANs here. So I have my wireless LAN set up. And security here, I have this SSID open. So this SSID up here, you can see it's called Demo Guest, and right now it's open. And what we're doing is we're doing layer 3 captive portal redirect. So you can go in here and I set a web policy and authentication. And when you click this override global config, that's when this page pops up here. Make sure you put in the whole HTTPS. And here's the IP address of my ClearPass server. And then this is the guest login page. So you'll see in ClearPass Guest, when you set up the pages, everything has the guest, but then this is the name of your page. Now, I'll show you when we go in the ClearPass. So let's go in the ClearPass and let's look at the pages. So if I look at my web logins, or my different web pages here, you see my web logins here. Let's see, guest self-registration. So how I come up with that page is, that URL is, you can look on a page here like Cisco self-registration with sponsor approval. and or you can pick like a page here. So just do Aruba self-registration here. So if I look at this page, you can either kind of click edit on here, or let me go back, or you can go to login, and that's going to show you the URL. So of course you don't want this part here, but you could copy everything here. Okay, that's your guest underscore register underscore. That's how you're going to come up with that page, and that's the information that you're putting in your WLC here, in your Cisco wireless LAN controller. So depending on what service you're trying to do, that's what you're going to redirect to. Right? If you wanted to do the Cisco guest self-registration with sponsor approval, you can click on this, and you could get the URL for this page, copy it from here over, and that's what you would paste in your wireless controller for the redirect. So my AAA servers are going to be my, that's going to be my ClearPass server, so you can add it in here. I'll scroll down a little bit so you can see some of the other settings. By default, local and LDAP were also over here, so I just highlighted them and clicked on the arrow to move them over, and then applied. So that's my information in here. So I showed you before how we went in and we set up the authentication server, right? All we did was put in the shared secret and the IP address. So let's see on the ClearPass policy side, ClearPass policy manager side, how we would set that up. So what we would do is we would go into ClearPass policy manager. You'd go under configuration, network, and then devices, and you'll see this is my Cisco wireless LAN controller. So if I click on that, that's the IP of my wireless LAN controller, as you can see back here. And I just put in the same shared secret that I did on the Cisco side before and save that. Okay, so that's all you have to do to add that in. You could add a new one right here if you want it. And then you could do like Cisco WLC, put in the IP address, and just put in your passwords here, your radius passwords. Okay. I have one service. I have two services set up here, but really this service right here is the one that is allowing the authentication and MAC caching. I can look up here on my access tracker and I can see that when I logged on before, that is the service. Right. So when I go back here to my configurations, services, I can click on this service and I can look at the different settings. So here we're going to, this is my summary page, but when I go into the actual service and I click here, this by default, I think it defaulted to 3, but I had to set this value right here to 4. And that is because when I look at my wireless LANs, that is my wireless LAN ID in my Cisco controller. So that has to match. Okay. And then my authentication is PAP, MS CHAP, and just CHAP. But I'm using the local guest repository. I have it set up that you can go in and create an account as part of this service. So, and endpoint repository and the local SQL database in here. And to look at the roles. And these are my mappings here. So let me go back and take a look at this service again. All right, and that should be it.